Pair of Kawasaki's in there, and I think it might be Baggett, but he got shoved around the outside, and they're going to lose the lead. Looks like one of the Yamahas up to the #1 spot. It's Gareth Swanepoel.
No. Audette.
Oh, Gannon Audette on the 533. Good call, Jeff. Wow. Under pressure, the rookie from the veteran, Tyla Rattray, and Rattray's going to get him.
Swanepoel is up there right around the top 5, so the Yamaha team with them Cosworth engines found a little spark here because they definitely are starting to pepper the hole shot there.
Now Baggett trying to get around Audette as well. Audette first-year pro, Baggett second-year pro. No, Audette proving stubborn, not letting Baggett by. And Rattray going to try to get away from this battle. You're right, there is another one of those Yamahas right there. Swanepoel in 4th, and Lance Vincent is 5th early. Our first moto winner, Dean Wilson, nowhere to be seen, at least around the top 5.
So great start for Vincent, though.
Oh, Baggett! Over the bars! Wow! And now he cannot get to the motorcycle. Too much traffic. Be like dropping your bike in the middle of the interstate. The guys are coming and they are coming fast. And he's just lucky that no one hit him there. He goes all the way to dead last.
Wow. That is frustrating.
Just about last.
Just when you think that he's got all the momentum, he's going to be the guy to beat, has a so-so first moto, gets a good start, and watch this replay here as the young man, 57, pulls the tear off and watch as he hits the brakes here, hits a soft hole, and just stuffs it. And that's when the foot pegs and the bottom of the chassis underneath of the engine drag in that soil, stops your momentum quickly.
Wow, in more ways than one, because the way Baggett rode at our last race, some people are starting to think the kid was unbeatable, and then a tough first race today. Exactly. We were speechless after that run.
Yeah, you read my procast on Ally Sports, and I was like, hey, this kid, he's on it. But it has not been his day.
Justin Barcia, that is classic Barcia, the 17. A big block pass on Gareth Swanepoel, so that will move him up to 3rd. Now he's got to get around Audette, who is 2nd. And Barcia, we mentioned at the top of the show, has been diagnosed with mononucleosis. The doctor said you should probably stop riding, but a couple of months ago he had he refuses to not race. He won't let the team park him. And riding this well, maybe he should stay out there.
6th in the first moto, looking to back that up with a better second moto, and he's done that this year at Texas. He looked like he was a little bit off the pace in the first moto, and really got it together and hung tough on one of the toughest tracks of the season.
Now Barcia was almost relieved to find out that he had the illness, if that makes any sense, because nothing is worse than feeling bad and not knowing why. Now he has it figured out. He goes to the inside on Audette. Barcia on a rail to the front, and after some classic Barcia aggressive passes, he throws a classic Barcia scrub over these jump. Barcia's feeling it right now.
Barcia just rides with so much attitude, you know. He's so animated on the bike. He likes to twist the grip off that thing, and so far so good here. See at the top of your screen, we got 26 minutes. When that clock is at 0 and the lead rider has crossed the finish line, they will give them the 2-lap board for 2 more laps. So in AMA motocross, typically it's about a 35-minute race for the leader. And it's grueling. The track here is really gone away. It's rough, it's nasty, and it's giving these riders all that they can handle mentally and physically.
Let's talk about these riders. Upset special here. The 387, Swanepoel's had a couple of good runs this year, but he's yet to get a podium. His teammate Audette, a rookie, yet to get a podium. He's running up front. Lance Vincent, a replacement rider for the injured Blake Wharton and Will Hahn on Geico Honda. He is up there right now, and a lot of the favorites, like our first moto winner, Dean Wilson, not there. Wilson is 9th. Look at Swanepoel, 387. He is 4th. South African rider has to feel good in this moto because he didn't just get the start, but he is running the pace.
Well, you remember at the opening round, Swanepoel had a top 5 in the second moto, backed it up with a 4th in Moto 1 at Freestone.
There is the 15 of Wilson, so he's finally about to get into the mix. But with Rattray out front, Wilson's going to have to make a lot of moves here to win the overall. We'll worry about that later. Right now, we're worried about the passes, and he's got Nico Izzi on the inside.
That was close.
He made that pass.
He threaded the needle, that's for sure, and Wilson this year has gotten some hole shots, but he's been incredibly inconsistent with those starts. And that's something that he has really been working on in his program, but certainly didn't execute Moto 2 start like he did Moto 1.
Now he's going after Vincent, who's on the 245. Like I said, Vincent got a shot here with Geico Honda, and he's making the most of it with a good start. Whoa, Nico Izzy came up way short on that tabletop.
And that jump has been there for years, but this year they lengthened it out by about 20 feet. And especially for the 250F bikes here, that makes it tough. Out of that turn is some really deep sandy soil, and if you mess up the turn a little bit like Nico did before the obstacle, it's just really tough to get the drive.
Wilson now going after Vincent. That would be 5th if he can get him, with Odette and Swanepoel in front of him. Barcia, Rattray your leader. So Wilson, like you said, Jeff, inconsistent with the starts. Whole shot in the first race, won it. Bad start here, and he has this work cut out for him if he wants to salvage a win today. Here he goes to the inside, and he's got the spot. Will Vincent fight him? Yes, he will.
Well, Vincent does not have the hot line down through here, so he hit some much deeper ruts, and it stalled him out. They go side by side. Wilson has the inside line.
Boy, but Odette sure gave it everything he had. Feet hanging off the pegs, but Wilson still makes it happen. Now he's going to go to the inside on Odette.
Look at how many riders are freight trained. I mean, we've got back to, I believe, Tomac, maybe even all the way back to 15th, Alex Martin. The riders are basically wheel to wheel.
Wilson clearing that entire step up there as we're headed toward the finish line jump. He's got a pair of Yamaha riders in front of him before he can get to the leaders, Barcia and Rattray. But a lot of racing yet to come here. 23 minutes and 2 laps to go. So Wilson at least has time on his side, but does he have track position that he needs? He is only about 10 seconds back of your leader, Rattray, so not too bad. But Rattray just turned his fastest lap of the race, a 2:07, where Wilson only ran a 2:09.
Well, Rattray's 2:07 is the fastest lap.
Yeah,
only one in 2:08 is Barcia. Everyone else is 2:09 and above.
Vincent on the inside is going to try to get Wilson back. This kid is not intimidated, just fighting, scratching, clawing, and while Wilson is dealing with Odette, looks like Izzy and Vincent going to try to fight back. What are you hearing on the 245 of Vincent, Aaron?
Well, guys, this is only his 3rd pro race outdoors, and he said he's having an extremely hard time trying to learn the tracks. He says coming in here, it's a lot harder than what he had expected. 30 minutes plus 2 laps, and he's out there racing with the fastest guys on the planet. He's still learning all these different line choices from the rest of the riders.
Well, he just learned one from Izzy, who just snuck to the inside and took that position away from him. At the same time, Wilson duking it out with Odette. There's Vincent on the 245. He's got some pressure from Malcolm Stewart.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's going to get any better for Vincent because there's a freight train of riders that are lined up wheel to wheel just behind him.
And Barcia not too far back from Rattray. We've got a race in our hands for the lead at Budds Creek, the 17 and the 28. Half hour away from nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and a South African is leading here in the U.S. But this has become the series that the international riders want to come compete in. Tyla Rattray, this rider right here, won a title over in Europe. Once he accomplished that, he wanted to come here. He has come so close to winning this championship, was 2nd in the Tour last year, leading the points right now, but his lead in this Moto is very close over Justin Barcia.
Yeah, that was the World Championship, I might add, and but he understands that in motocross, the best guys in the world are racing here. The deepest field, and I don't want to take anything away from the talented riders that are on the GP, but this is where they gravitate to.
Yeah, there's a reason that Rattray moved over here, because he feels he's not complete unless he can check this championship off of his list. He's got the series lead, and he might extend it today, but he's going to have to hold off the flying kid, Justin Barcia. Complete contrast in styles when you talk about Rattray and Barcia.
Yeah, and it's really ironic that at Freestone, Texas, super hot and humid track was just, it was unbelievably rough, so challenging physically. And that's where Barcia notched to 2nd place in the 2nd moto, which typically is the tougher of the motos. The track's gone away, it's hotter, you've already depleted yourself in Moto 1 and qualifying practice. And, you know, we heard some of the guys going, I wonder if Barcia actually is sick because he seems to turn it up when it's the toughest. But he does have that ability to dig deep and just, he's got an incredible amount of determination.
Here's your battle for third. Garrett Swanepoel, another South African, is in that spot. And the Scots-Canadian-Californian Dean Wilson is in fourth. Wilson has to keep chugging, keep moving, and minimize the damage on points to Rattray.
Well, and we heard the comment from Rattray at Texas that he said it was hot. Not, you know, Africa hot, which is you know, evidently the next level.
Yeah, I didn't know there was one.
So it's a difficult day here today, but certainly not Africa hot. So for the South Africans, this could just be, you know, nice spring day.
2 of them in the top 3. That's impressive. Malcolm Stewart up to 6th behind Nico Izzy. Started the year off with blazing speed, but now learning the consistency game. Had an 11th and a 10th in his motos last week in Pennsylvania, and here he is in the number 6 spot in this. So Malcolm learning very quickly. It's good to see the Stewart families here cheering him on and supporting him just like they did with his older brother James. Nice job. And Malcolm's learning. I mean, he's really only a rookie, so that's only 4 pro races for him at this level. Then you see the 533 of Audette, another rookie, and now Darren Durham, who could have been a hero in the first moto, is trying to get on the podium, was in 4th, going for 3rd, crashed, and broke his bike. He's back here in Moto 2, makes a pass on Audette. So now 7th place for Darren Durham.
Well, Audette's a rookie here and getting his feet wet, understanding that, hey, I got the start there, and now he's going, ooh, okay. Pace here is a little bit higher than what I was hoping it would be. Hasn't been able to hang on to the lead or even to stay inside of the top 10, but he is gaining experience.
Wilson leaning on Swanepoel and gets the 3rd place position. So persistence paying off. The problem is they are 13 seconds behind the leader, Rattray. So Wilson is going to have to hope that Rattray and Barcia maybe slow each other down a little bit, battling for the lead, and it just might happen. Barcia just turned in the fastest lap that anyone has turned in this moto. So Barcia in 2nd is going after your leader Rattray, as Wilson here in 3rd hopes those two slow each other up a little bit and allow him to get in the mix.
Wilson turned a 2:08 last time around, and Rattray and Barcia were right at a 2:06.4. So let's see if a clear track here for Dean Wilson will allow him to draw some good lines on the track, start to smooth out, and drop that lap time down you know, low enough to catch the leaders.
And incidentally, Blake Baggett, the rider who was so spectacular in a couple of rounds with wins this year and then crashed on lap 1, has gone from 39th to 18th so far at the halfway mark. We'll keep our tabs on him as well. And we'll also keep our eyes on Wilson, Barcia, and Rattray. This Friday, Orange County, California is your home to the greatest car collector event in the world, Barrett-Jackson, and you can only see it on Speed. The finest, rarest, most desirable cars on the planet, all in one place and all up for grabs. Watch the auction live on Speed, Friday at 5 Eastern only on Speed. Checking out some monster truck action here. Spider-Man and Gravedigger were on hand to entertain the masses at Budds Creek at intermission. Also, the owner of this track, Jonathan Beasley, got married at intermission. That's how busy a man this guy is. He could not find time to get the wedding in, so he did it during the race.
And they performed the ceremony right here on top of Henry Hill, right at the peak of that jump, right where Rattray comes over with the lead.
Barcia is still there, closing in again on Rattray. Every time Rattray, we think, has maybe shaken the 17, kid comes back, and Rattray now looking over his shoulder.
Barcia just relentless at this point, and he looks great. I mean, this is his form. It's always a little loose, always a little wild. Rattray is so strategic. He's very calm on the bike. Doesn't seem to use a lot of energy, but right now, Justin Barcia, 17 on Geico Honda. He's laying it down, and let's see the lap time. Last time around, Rattray was faster. This time around, Rattray's almost a 2:08, and Barcia's a 2:07.4, so about half a second. Barcia closed up.
Talked to the Geico team this week when they got the news that Barcia had mono, because they had some blood work done on Monday after our last race. And some of them thought Barcia might actually do better this weekend because he was so frustrated, not knowing what was wrong with him, didn't know why I was fading in the motos, that now that he's at least gotten an answer, it's kind of a weight off of his shoulders. And that theory seems to be working because he's riding really well.
He has got a little hop right there coming down the hill, and it's interesting because Barcia has the ability to close up on the back of Rattray, but will the lines allow him, will his lines allow him to actually make a pass and not just close up and take all that roost on?
Aaron is down trackside. What are you hearing on the 17?
There's a little bit of controversy this morning when I walked over to the pro circuit pits. When I was explaining to them about Barcia, they ended up saying that they don't believe that it is possibly true that Justin Barcia could actually have mono because he seems to be faster and faster throughout the day, and he also got the fastest time during practice this afternoon. And they went back to the same theory at Supercross when he rode with a broken wrist the entire season long and ended up taking home the championship. But blood work definitely doesn't lie.
Yeah, that's correct there. When the Geico guys said that he had mono, they said, and we know no one's going to believe us. Because when you're riding this well, it is hard to believe that this guy's supposedly sick.
Well, I mean, that could be part of his strategy, but I spoke to Justin this week. He was pretty bummed about it. He just said, look, if I feel like I can ride on race day, then I will. And if I feel good enough, then I'm going to go for it. Now, if he had woke up this morning and just wasn't feeling it, didn't recover from last week, and went through practice, and, he just didn't feel right. If his body didn't have any energy, if he didn't have any jump in his step, then he could probably be off the bike.
There's Schneike, the mechanic for Barcia, cheering his guy on. Going a little bit faster than the leader again. Getting a little bit closer, but as you alluded to, catching Rattray and passing him are two different things, but look at Barcia getting aggressive.
The wild child is back right here. He's feeling the flow here, and he's putting the pressure on Tyla Rattray. I'm sure Rattray knows that he will have to win this moto if Wilson stays in third.
And Wilson not able to close on these two. They were just about a second quicker per lap than Wilson. So, yeah, Wilson has any shot at the overall, he's going to need Barcia to mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, Rattray. Yeah, Rattray was second, first moto. It's going to get tough here.
Right. And Barcia, I thought he made a little mistake through there. Was he just trying to pull a tear off when slow in the entry to that one corner, Jeff? He pulled a tear off, I suppose.
That's
still
part
seems
of it
strong.
When you ride like this.
Unbelievable. And now going to the outside, working off Rattray. Wait, now we hear that Aaron has a guest star who's going to give us a few pointers. Aaron?
I guess Chad Reed just can't get enough. Chad, you haven't even taken off your gear from your victory. You're standing here on the sidelines watching this last moto. What's your take on what you're witnessing happen right now?
I think an old dog can always learn new tricks, so I love watching the kids. And normally they're first, so we never ever get to see them, but the last couple of years they've flipped the motos. We go first, they go second, so it's kind of nice to sit around and watch these guys and watch the new talent. And man, they got some creative lines, and you can always learn something, and root on some of the PC guys and the Factory Connection Honda guys, so they're all my friends.
Are you scouting a rider for the 2-2 team next year?
Always. You never know. As a team owner, you got to watch the kids and see what's up, and all these kids will be moving up one day. I don't know if I want a light sky, though. Man, I've seen the effort that goes on at Mitch Payton's shop, and I'm not ready for that yet.
A lot of work. Thanks, Chad.
You can tell Chad Reed won the race because he's just hanging out, soaking it up. And speaking of soaking it up, Justin Barcia overjumped that downhill big time, and he soaked up a big impact.
Well, and he didn't lose any time right there, but certainly had shades of the Doug Henry jump, I can tell you that. How about Rattray, though? I mean, we keep talking about Barcia, wild child, doing his thing, really animated on the bike, using a lot of energy. But, hey, Rattray is solid. He is...
That is a specialty of Tyla Rattray.
That's right.
He can handle the pressure, bring it as long as you want. He is not going to crack. Rattray continues to lead them around. Barcia still chasing. As Tyla Rattray continues to hold off Justin Barcia, the two have pushed each other faster and faster. It is now an 18-second gap between first and second, and then third. Justin Barcia airing it out around the outside.
And it's interesting, Jason, the pace of this race, this battle here for first and second, is actually dictated by the rider from behind. If, Rattray is going to ride and do whatever it takes to win the moto, to keep up front. If Barcia backed off, Rattray would knock it, back it down just a click. But Barcia, as you can see, is not backing off one bit. And so he's pushing Rattray into faster lap times. They were at 2:07s. And Wilson is way 2:09.
It has to be so difficult, Jeff. Talk about what Rattray is dealing with right now, trying to hit his marks while a rider is all over.
This is the last lap when we were with Reed. Watch Barcia. He knows he came over Henry Hill with too much speed, and he jumped about 3/4 of the way to the turn. And that, you can see right there, he had a little pause once he got in that outside rut, like, whoo.
All right, so Barcia able to escape there. Let's show the next big leap.
See Rattray right here, doubles to the inside, and watch Barcia coming through on the triple up here to the outside. You carry a little more momentum around the outside there, but man, Barcia's been able to close up, but just really not do anything with it. And kudos to Rattray. He's put on a solid ride. That's a championship type performance.
Oh yeah, every point is going to loom large in this class, and Rattray maximizing every opportunity he has gotten this year. When he hasn't been the fastest guy, that's one thing, but when he's been fast enough, he's found a way to get the wins.
And you can see across the top of your screen the running order. Rattray's teammate, Dean Wilson, up to 3rd, and Baggett now, after that crash on the first lap, is up to 12th.
That could loom large in points as well as Baggett tries to salvage something after that early crash. Looks like Rattray has extended it just a bit over Barcia for the moment. Gap's up to about 1.5 seconds now. Go back to 3rd place Wilson. It's 21 seconds between Wilson and your leader Rattray. So not able to run them down. And Jeff, I'm going to ask you, he couldn't see them by the time he got to 3rd. How big of a difference is that, not being able to see the riders you're trying to catch?
Yeah, when you can see the riders in front of you, and it's like that carrot dangling, and you're just constantly going after it. Now, Wilson just turned a 2:10, Rattray at 2:07. That puts Wilson about 20 seconds behind the leader now. So I know Dean a little bit. Like I said, I spoke with him. He's going to be a little frustrated with this Moto after winning Moto 1. Just not getting the start that he needed to hang with the leader.
Well, great point. That has been his frustration all year, inconsistent with the starts. So he's going to probably, I guess, just be even more frustrated. It's the same story for him.
But that also fuels you. And we talk about it all along. So many,
Cole Seeley, it's Lucas Oil Troy Lee rider, had a tough day today after a great run last week at High Point. That's how quickly things can change in motocross. One little mistake, and you're out. All right, we'll be back after this. Barcia chasing down Rattray. Is that house is white? So I would assume that is the White House.
Why is everybody standing at the fence looking at it? I mean, it's impressive. Hey, I've actually been inside one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're Jeff Emick. Pretty much seen and done it all.
This is true. Man, I tell you who's doing it all here today is Tyla Rattray. What a solid, impressive ride here, leading the second moto. Last lap was a 2:06. His fastest lap just turned to 2:08. Starting to stretch it out just a little bit over Justin Barcia. And, of course, he's got 23 seconds over his teammate, Dean Wilson.
So it looks like down the stretch, Rattray may stretch it out on Barcia, but is the Pro Circuit team still going to ask for a copy of the blood work results that Barcia had? Because for 27 minutes or so, he had all the speed and the endurance you could ask for. Oh, Blake Baggett, we found him, and he is trying to get inside the top 10. He's up to 8th. That is impressive. That means he was, let's see, 39th, I think, after the crash. There's one rider behind him. So, past over 30 riders. This is impressive.
Going past Zimmer there, who is 28. So, Zimmer getting lapped. This makes for some long days right here for Baggett. When you're back in the pack and you're making mistakes, let's take a look at it.
Yeah, this is Moto 1, Jeff. Too much momentum.
Over jumps the triple, cross ruts, keeps it on 2 wheels, but stalls the engine, would lose 1 position. And watch this, first lap of second moto, buries the foot pegs in the chassis into that bump there. And as you can see, as Martin gets by, and Tomac, and 39 other riders, that day did not start out, or the second moto did not start out as he had planned. Certainly not how I had predicted the day to go for Blake Baggett.
Yeah, well, the speed that he's had in the races this year, you didn't expect him to come out here and get 2 tough moto finishes outside of the top 5. But the points he salvaged here can make all the difference. In fact, he just made another move. He just got Darren Durham for the number 7 spot. So the 57 goes by the 37. That would be one more championship point for Baggett.
See Durham right there, looks a little bit fatigued at this point. Pretty solid rides to be inside the top 10. Showed us a lot of potential here today.
Yeah, was running 4th late in the first moto was Durham, then had a big crash. So he, much like Baggett, the speed will not be reflected in their results at the end of the day. But if you're Durham, you're just trying to make an impression. So he's definitely done that. If you're Baggett, you want to score points and get the series lead back. That did not happen. He's going to lose a lot of ground to Rattray and Wilson, the 2 riders that were in front of him in the series coming into today's racing. All right, so Baggett going to try to make a late run for the top 5. Late in the race, he has been very, very strong, but you can't do it from 39th. Malcolm Stewart in the top 5, Swanepoel as well. Saturday, the Rolex Sports Car Series is revving up for a fight on a new battlefield. For the first time in a decade, Grand Am returns to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, and this legendary track promises road racing at its best. Don't miss the Rolex Sports Car Series Saturday live, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Speed. Some definite speed being shown by the 28 of Tyla Rattray, laying down some fast laps late in this moto to get away from his pursuers, Jeff.
Yeah, as the rest of the field was up around a 211, 212 or higher, 2 laps ago, Rattray still turned to 208. Now he's pulled 8 seconds out on Justin Barcia, who sets in 2nd, and last lap around backed it down to a pace of about 211 and a half. So 8-second cushion here for Rattray. 2nd in the first moto. Really just had Dean Wilson to worry about. Dean didn't get the start that he needed, has worked his way up to 3rd, but clear sailing here with about a lap and a half to go for the South African.
And late in the race, Eli Tomac just made a move on Malcolm Stewart. That'll move him into the top 5. Swanepoel still 4th. Wilson and Barcia, of course, 3rd and 2nd, with Rattray in the lead. This will be the first Father's Day for Tyla Rattray, who, if you folks remember, last year he won the race at Southwick, Massachusetts, the day his child was born. Said he had to go racing, so he stuck it out. That's his job. Get the paychecks. Did it. Got the big win bonus there. So here we are now, Father's Day weekend, and he's got a win. That's Lou McGar, the mechanic, and the Lou McGar family has followed Rattray over from Europe to the U.S. That's Wayne there. And all right, latter stage of this race, 1 lap to go, and Tyla Rattray, I'd say this series could be boiling down to this. You know what Rattray is going to give you every week, Jeff. Solid performances. The question is, can the kids, Wilson, Baggett, can their speed overcome his consistency? We've seen what Baggett can do when things go right, but they don't always go right. For Rattray, it's pretty much even across the board. Yeah,
and leading into this race, the thing that I really felt that Rattray needed to do was to match the pace, the fast lap times of the leaders. He was close the first moto. Wilson really had just a spectacular ride. But now, when the track is the toughest, he's outlasted everybody physically, and speed-wise, nobody could catch him. Barcia laid down the best laps that he could, and could not do anything with all that speed, as Rattray just matched it lap for lap. You want to go to a 209, we'll do a 209. You want to do a 208, we can do that. Oh, how about a 207? Let's do one of those. Okay. Whatever he dished out, Rattray had an answer, and now he has the luxury of cruising around, waving to the fans here, getting to let his heart rate come down a little bit here on the final lap, and can ride, well, zigzag your way through all these bumps here. And I can tell you, this has been a great day of racing here at Budds Creek. I've been really impressed with the track. Kind of one of those tracks that I wish I had the opportunity to be out there racing again. And a spectacular day here for Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki once again. Similar story in both of our races today. Earlier we showed you our 450 class, and Chad Reed was under intense pressure from Ryan Dungey. He could have let Dungey by. He could have wilted. Reed never backed down, and then late in the race, he got some breathing room and was able to relax. Same thing with Rattray here. These guys really toughed it out. Yeah, and it's really interesting there. We had Chad Reed, the Australian, Tyla Rattray, South African here. The journey that they have been on in their motocross career. Yeah, baby. Going through the World Championship scene to get here, and now standing atop AMA Motocross, most prestigious motocross title in the world. Pretty cool feeling.
Tyla Rattray came into this race with the series lead, and he will extend it with a big win here at Budds Creek. So Tyla Rattray's got it. We're waiting on Barcia, see if he can hang on to the number 2 position, and there it is. So the 17 at least splits the Kawasaki guys. That's as close to a win as anyone else has gotten off the Kawasaki this year.
And that is a great ride. What an effort for Justin Barcia. And this is 3rd place.
Big gap over him.
I mean, they were a good 30 seconds out on Wilson.
And look, he still has Swanepoel all over him down the stretch. Wilson hangs on, and Gareth Swanepoel kept Wilson honest all the way down to the last lap. The 387 will finish 4th, and Eli Tomac 5th was right there. So that was a great duel down to the wire, 3rd, 4th, 5th, but they never got to see the 28 of Tyla Rattray.
Solid ride for Tyla Rattray today. Tyla, as soon as you just spoke to me, you had said, I feel better now after the 2nd moto than I did that 1st moto. Is that a testament to your fitness?
Yeah, definitely. You know, working with Alden and Ryan and them, it's really lifted my level this year, I feel. And yeah, definitely felt good after that 2nd moto, you know, especially to get the win, and got a good start, got into the lead early, and yeah, I had Justin behind me the whole way, and I knew I was riding a good pace, good lap times, and just focusing on my lap time and just trying to ride smooth. I mean, the track was really tricky and could really take it out on you. So just want to thank all the guys from Monster Energy, Circuit Kawasaki, Platinum and the Thor, Alden, my wife, my baby, my mum, and Wayne.
Congratulations on extending your lead to 4 points. Dean Wilson just said he's a little bit frustrated at how he makes it a little tough on himself. Bad start for you this time, and then a mistake right out the 1st lap. Dean, what do you do to turn it around?
I just need to get started like I did the 1st moto, and you know, I'll be fine. You know, but it just kind of was a shame. I just kind of didn't really ride well that moto, and you know, I was just slow coming through the pack, and then once we got in the 3rd, the first top 2 were gone. So kind of like, I don't know, I just was not very happy with my performance, and but you know, I just couldn't do it without everybody that's helped me so far. Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Dunlop, Parts Unlimited, Welcome Bands. My mechanic Paul's done a great job. My mom and dad watching at home. Sam for helping me out, and everybody else, thank you.
Hard to believe, but he's plagued with mono. Justin, are you surprised by your performance?
Yeah, very surprised. I came here just wanting to race. That's what I do for a living, so, you know, it was very tough out there. Track was brutal, chasing those guys as hard as I could, so it was a fun day for sure.
The all-new Geomax MX34 is the latest result of Dunlop's ongoing development with the help of top motocross pros. The all-new Geomax MX34 is the new industry standard for soft to intermediate terrain. Experience the advantage. Ride Dunlop.